Happy Friday night, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Every single night, 9:30, we go live. And thanks for joining us tonight on this Friday night before the storms and rain comes tomorrow. Before Ron asked that question, are the storms tonight? Tomorrow, heavy flood chances here in Oklahoma. But I see a lot of comments in the chat, Wills and Levers and Peter Puller and everyone getting it started with Sooner Cowboys with this comment on the comparison of Arch Manning and John Mateer, Jay. I have not seen this clip.
Yeah, I need to go watch it. I haven't watched it yet either, but I love his stuff. I really do like his breakdowns usually. So I probably will go watch it. And we're referring to Brooks Austin. Really good. I think he's really good at breaking down film and stuff. I did watch the one he did on Mateer earlier this summer. But I'd like to go watch the one on Archie Manning and just kind of see what he said. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to bring up some interesting things. I mean, yeah, he's not very experienced, but if you're going off maybe arm talent and everything as far as that is concerned, then, yeah, there's a lot of people that love him. I remember just not too long ago, there was a lot of people oohing and awing also over Jackson Arnold's arm talent and everything that went with it. Now, granted, I think between the years and reading defenses, Arch Manning is head and shoulders above what people thought Arnold was last year. I think Manning's good. My thing is I want to see Manning against like that first few games. It's going to be tested. So I think we'll know a lot more after a few weeks for sure.
And Chester and others, Jay, I see Mez is commenting about Patrick Mahomes. Look, it's right. I mean, you put Jackson Arnold, Spencer Rattler, those guys' arms up against anyone, you'd probably take those guys because they're armed. Well, that does not – when you talk about John Mateer, the one thing I think John Mateer has that people are talking about, and it's something that you can't really measure, is it's the intangibles of guts. He's just the gamer type. Now, I told you last year who was a gamer type, Jay. Do you remember who I told you all year was a gamer? You recall
for OU? For
no,
OU?
Not for OU, nationally.
I can't remember.
All year we talked about it and said, I don't know, this guy's just a gamer. He's not going to blow you away with his arm talent. It was Will Howard, Jay.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you put Will Howard against some of these elite recruits' arm talent, arm strength and stuff, and he's not going to win out. But he's a gamer, and I think Mateer is along that lines of a player, not someone who's just going to wow you with arm talent. Not saying he can't sling the ball around because he can, but he's a different type of player, Jay.
Yeah, he is. And I think we'll know a lot after week 2 from Oklahoma. We'll know a lot about John Mateer. I think after 2 weeks of Texas, I think you'll know a lot about Arch Manning. They're going to be tested early on. Some of the big news today, I mean, you had KJ Ford committing to Florida tonight. About an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, he made that commitment to Florida, said they're going to run the SEC, I think was what his quote said. Florida's kind of got it going a little bit in the recruiting side of things. OU possibly tomorrow gets a recruit, Germ, you think?
Yeah, Eberhardt, I think, will be a Sooner tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, his commitment. And 4-star, I think he's been leaning towards OU for a while now, Jay, so that's not going to be a shock.
No, hey, answer this question. Is Arch Manning overrated in your opinion?
We don't know yet, Jay.
Well, based off where people ranking him.
No, Jay, how could you say anyone's overrated if they haven't played yet? Now, you could say overhyped. You could use the term overhyped.
Overhyped.
You cannot say overrated until they've actually played a game.
Yeah, maybe overhyped. What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining us tonight.
And Jay,
Michael says Texas stuff. That's right.
Of course he's overhyped. Jay, of course he's overhyped because any big-time player or big-time recruit is always overhyped.
Let me put Mess's comment up here. I somewhat disagree on this. I would say quarterback mechanics sometimes aren't as important as other things, but I think they are still very important. I mean, you got to have good mechanics. You're not going to be a good quarterback with bad mechanics. Give me a quarterback that's really good that has bad mechanics. Go.
Well, Patrick Mahomes.
Bad mechanics?
That's what Mez said earlier, Jay.
I think he still has good mechanics.
We've got to define mechanics because Patrick Mahomes maybe have the best feet out there. That's part of your mechanics.
Well,
now his are a bit uncanny or unnatural, but it doesn't mean that they're not good mechanics.
Listen, I understand, but I think you're confusing maybe mechanics with just what he can do on the fly. No, what he can do on the fly. He's very creative, but I think if you just drop back 5 steps and throw the ball, I think his mechanics would be pretty good. He doesn't always do that, but I think if you just set him up to drop back and throw the ball, I think it'd be pretty good. What do you mean? Who said it wasn't a big deal?
You said mechanics aren't a big deal.
Did I say that? I said they're not as important as what some people think, but I think they're still important.
Hey, Mez, side arming is bad mechanics, but it's also it's elite type of, like, a lot of guys can't do side arming. That's what makes him special.
He's not side arming on a 5-step drop.
Exactly, Jay.
Now Lamar Jackson might be, but not Patrick Mahomes.
I would say Lamar Jackson has worse mechanics than Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I just think it's different when the guy is rolling out, throwing a sidearm, than just dropping back and throwing.
Hey,
okay, Chuck says he said not a big deal, and then you went on to say what quarterback is good without good mechanics. You're funny.
Why do you show comments, Jay? If you
well, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand
all the time. It's funny though. Hey,
you just need to sometimes stop talking.
Sorry, I won't be doing that. Sooner Thrawn talked about Paul Feinbaum basically said guaranteeing Texas at Ohio State winning. Hey, Ohio State has lost a lot. They're going to be playing a brand new quarterback who hasn't even been around the field at all. If that is a game Texas could steal early, because that's when you want to play Ohio State early in the year. I'm picking Texas.
I'm picking Texas in that game.
I've got to get to the comment. I think it was Sooner Cowboy before we even started the show. I got on here and I saw some comments, and it was one about just sick of the injury, tired of all the injuries and all the fumbles and stuff, turnovers by OU. Listen, I've got a shocking stat. You ready for it?
What's that?
18 interceptions. What year did OU have 18 interceptions, Jay? They threw 18 interceptions.
What year did OU throw?
Yeah, last time. Yeah. National championship year.
2000?
Josh Heupel had 14 of them. Josh Heupel's 1999 year, 15 picks. I only say that because I went and looked up turnover ratio. The last 3 years has not been the worst for OU. Now, they've had some horrible debacles at times. I would say the timing of the turnovers have been atrocious, and they've had games where they've had multiple, and last year they had some horrible fumbles, even the year before that, but it's not even close to being some of the worst. It was just the amount of punts and bad offensive play. But did you know that, Jay, that OU had 18 interceptions the year they won the Natty?
No, I did not know that.
Shocking stat.
They threw the ball a ton, though. Hey, Mess says, NFL quarterback analysts critiqued Patrick Mahomes for his poor mechanics until he proved he could win Super Bowls. He said whatever he's doing is working. Don't change. Hey, I agree with you on that. That's what I said earlier. I think mechanics are sometimes like maybe overrated, but at the same time, I do think they're still important. Like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes has bad mechanics on a drop back pass. I wouldn't say he does, but maybe I'm wrong.
I agree, Chester. OU threw the ball a lot. I'm just saying, if I would have asked that, I don't think many people would have remembered that.
I would agree with this too. I would agree with you, Mess, on this. Hey, but Germ, don't forget back then with Josh Heupel, he threw into coverage a ton. He put it on his receivers to make plays.
Absolutely.
He took a lot of chances. Josh Heupel did. 2
keys for quarterbacks: read a defense, ball placement. Those are 2 big ones.
Before we get to our thing that we're going to talk about tonight off the graphic there with the title, but while we're at quarterbacks and we've talked NFL, give me your top 5 NFL quarterbacks right now. I think everybody would say the same four. They would say Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and probably Joe Burrow. Who would the fifth be? And would you agree with those four?
It could be. I mean, some people might say Justin Hebert, Justin Herbert. Yeah, Jay, people would say it, Jay, numbers-wise.
Jalen Hurts, a lot of people.
Jalen Hurts would be up there. Baker might make some.
Baker's not a top 5 quarterback in the league.
He's probably 6 or 7, Jay.
I love Baker, but Jaden Daniels, a lot of people would put up there.
He played 1 year, though.
Played 1 year. I agree, but I couldn't put Baker top 5. I think he had a great year last year. I wouldn't put him top 5.
I didn't say I would, Jay. I said people would.
Okay, yeah, there will be people that do that. There'll be people that
Jared Goff's in mine, but he hasn't won the big game.
Wait, you would put him in your top 5?
Again.
Hey, what about this guy? What about this guy, Matt Stafford? He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Again, what are the qualifications to be in the top 5, Jay? Are we talking numbers? Are we talking Super Bowl rings? What are we talking?
I'm talking if you had to pick a quarterback to be your quarterback, top 5 quarterback, Jerm, who would you pick?
To be my quarterback. Matt Stafford would be on there then.
His age doesn't bother you?
Are we talking about Matt Stafford now or Matt Stafford in his prime?
We're talking about top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Not 5 years ago, not 5 years in the future, now.
Yeah, I mean, not Caleb Williams. I saw that comment. Yeah,
918 not
the list at 918 is probably 918 has there is probably good. I mean, that's probably a good list.
What? Surely this is a joke.
Surely that's a joke.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's a joke, Jay.
Gotta be, man. Gotta be. Jaden Daniels would be high on my. I can't put him above Hurts, but I think
as you introduce the topic, Jay. I'm gonna let's get the phone lines going in here, and you introduce the topic, Jay. I'll introduce the rest of it. Go ahead and introduce the topic while we're getting the phone lines in. There it is, right there.
I just posed in the graphic or the title tonight. What does OU have to do to be competitive in the SEC? What do they
competitive or win? Successful.
Competitive is successful. You got to. Yes, compete to win championships in the SEC, Jared.
Okay, to compete to win championships, okay, in the SEC. Phone lines in there, guys. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. You choose the package that you like best. You want more short sleeves, choose that one. You want a couple of long sleeves, choose that one. Or the hoodie package. If you sign up by July 20th, which is just, 8 or 9 days away, you'll make sure you get that August Shirt of the Month Club. You can see the helmet there. August Shirt of the Month Club. Sign up, use code SURGE, get 10% off the first 3 months. Okay? So, Chief says NIL and coaching. For this year, NIL is already done. So, that to me, that can't even be talked about.
Yeah, stop taking project players.
Name one, Sooner Cowboy.
Let me say this.
Name some project players that OU has.
What about this right here? To compete and win championships in the SEC, you got to do this. Tell me if you would agree with this. Win in the portal. Yes or no?
Yes, but that would already have to be of one in the portal. Yeah.
Be of one in the portal. NIL definitely. NIL's got to be up there in the top 2, I think.
Sooner Cowboy. Okay. Let me really address this before. First, I want to say Robert's comment. The SEC is a line of scrimmage league, so it starts with the quarterback and O-line for him. And I agree with that. Trenches win titles in the trenches. But let me really get to something because it set me off right here. Stop taking project players, Sooner Cowboy says. I asked who a project player is, and it's PJ Adebawore.
What was his?
He was not a project player. He was a 5-star recruit. That's not a project player in my definition. In my book, a project player is someone who's a 2 or 3-star that you're trying to. Now, I got an example, Jay. Daniel Akinkumi is a project player. Didn't play much football in high school. That's the definition of a project player. PJ Adebawore, if he doesn't do anything this year, he was an overly hyped guy. That's what he was. He was a badly evaluated talent. Okay? That would be what he was, not a project player.
All right, Jerm, give me your thoughts on what it takes this year for OU to compete in the SEC. It's going to have to take great quarterback play.
Jay, that is my top one. A guy who's going to – there is going to be 5 or 6 games, 5 or 6 moments at least this year where it's going to come down to if the quarterback can make a play on third down, if he's got the it factor. People think John Mateer has the it factor. I can't wait to hear it from him this week at SEC Media Days, which is coming up this week. John Mateer, RSJ, and R. Mason Thomas going to be the representatives for OU there. Can't wait to hear those guys, but got to have the it factor. That's up there, Jay. You know what the other one for me is?
What's that?
Stops.
Yeah, obviously.
You've got to get stops when it matters.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the Texas stuff coming out today about I think it was orangebloods.com talking about I don't know if you saw that, the quote about the way they're approaching recruiting this year?
No.
I would try to drop it in here. I don't know if Hunter's on here or not. He could drop it in. It's from orangebloods.com, Anwar Richardson. Basically, it was the same thing Jim Nagy said. We're not going to overpay players. We're going to save our money so we can retain players.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting.
Like that mindset.
It was kind of interesting because just a week ago, Nagy pretty much said the same thing, and it was like they blasted. A lot of people blasted Nagy for that. And now Texas is pretty much saying the same exact thing.
I don't know
why. Rosenberg cooked him. Rosenberg cooked Ketchum today. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
Yeah.
Someone post that in here, maybe the link. Hey, Chad says that we've heard this phrase a whole lot, complimentary football. Yeah. And Fanstop says OU did not become the football program they are with lack of funds.
Correct. They have funds.
And Jay, last week I was in Texas. I did a live show, and I really got upset, believe it or not. Hard to believe. The people who were talking about overpaying and how it's just not right. They can't believe Nagy won't overpay. People don't even know what overpay means. It's a negative thing. If you overpay for something, it's negative. It's not a good thing.
So do you think that's in Wills and Levers saying Ohio State has said the same thing now? So now it's like it's okay because Ohio State and Texas are saying it. But when Nagy said it, a lot of people lost it. Do you remember that? Just a week ago.
Yes.
And it by no means mean they're not going to go after 5 stars. It doesn't mean Texas isn't going to go after 5 stars. It doesn't mean Ohio State's not going to go after 5 stars. It just means they're not going to overpay for what they think he's worth. They're not, because if let's just say Texas Tech, the guy, Felix Ojo, they went and offered him this much. Texas was about like, okay, that's fine. We're not going to go this much just to get this one player. I think that's more of what it means. Okay, we're not going to overpay for it. What's up, Steeler man? How you doing tonight, man? There's the link. I'm trying to hit it. But,
so was I.
There's the link. Jake Rosenberg. Yeah, it's pretty funny Twitter exchange there. So what else, Jerem? What else has to happen this year for Oklahoma to compete for an SEC playoff berth in the from the SEC? What else has to happen?
Well, this goes along with what I said earlier. But until BV can win close games consistently, that's going to be a concern because there's going to be a whole lot of them, I think, this year. They've got to win the close games.
There's going to be a lot of close games.
But I tell you, maybe outside of the X factor, which is John Mateer, the biggest thing, which is the quarterback play, I would say you've got to dominate the trenches. You've got to dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Jay, true or false, if OU dominates the line of scrimmage during the playoff this year?
I can't say that.
No. To me, this is what determines the two biggest things. If OU dominates the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball this year during the playoff, Jay, why can't you answer that? This is common sense, Jason.
It's not common sense.
If you dominate the line of scrimmage, you win football games. It's not hard.
I guess maybe going to use. So you're saying if they finish first in offense and defense, yeah, okay, I understand that.
No, dominate the line of scrimmage. They push.
That would be dominating the line of scrimmage.
They don't get pushed around, Jay.
That would be dominating the line of scrimmage. You have to be first in offense and first in defense, probably.
You would be, yeah.
Would be if you dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides. You would be.
No, you can have turnovers still, but yeah, I'm trying to
Thank
throw
you.
facts
That's what
out
I was
there.
trying to get at.
Hey, what's funny is I'm just trying to ask a simple question and Jay couldn't answer it. I
You
can't
just
answer it. Yeah,
answered it.
too early.
Hilarious.
I don't want to stick my neck out there and actually make a prediction.
Because you were wrong. You just did exactly what I said. That's hilarious.
Chief says you can't see OU's offensive line dominating anything. Yeah, I mean, it's a concern.
Miguel says have to be violent, ruthless running.
Hey, I've got an idea, and I know this is a fan. I'm a fan, so I'm just talking as a fan. I agree with Miguel wholeheartedly, 1,000%.
Violent.
But I promise you this: my violent O-line does not have Fabechi Miwu in it. But my violent O-line might have EPL in it.
Well, EPL, I think, is going to start.
Don't be sure of that, Jay.
You don't think EPL is going to start?
I do, but don't be sure of it.
Oh, I think that's a pretty sure thing.
But so, do you think Fabechi's starting?
I don't know about him. I don't know.
To me, he is a guy who comes across as just not very violent. And I do agree with this. The lack of O-line play is where Mateer's it factor will have to show up. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And Fanstop, Kev says, will the offensive scheme this year make the offensive line better?
Has to.
I say yes.
Yeah, I think it has to.
It has to.
I mean, I think that was part of the issue last year. There wasn't, even when the game, you go back to the Ole Miss game. Was it the Ole Miss game? They had like 9 sacks allowed, something outrageous. Even in a game like that, it's not like every sack was a guy getting just ran over unless your name's Spencer Brown. Now, Spencer Brown was. But other guys weren't getting just dominated. It was either they were slow off the snap. It was other things that were involved in it too.
Hey, with the fan stops question there, Jay, what is, and I'm going to ask the chat this too. Feel free to call in also if you want, but what is one thing you would like to see scheme-wise or through Arbuckle that's going to make it better? That would make the offensive line better. I got an answer.
What's that? Screens?
Less predictability on first down specifically. You know, be very unpredictable on first down to me. There is so much talk, and this has been across the board. This isn't just OU. There's so much talk with the talking heads, and rightfully so, that you can't get behind the chains. You can't get behind the chains. You can't get behind the chains. So what do teams do a lot of times? They get predictable on first down just to try to get a few yards. I'm going unpredictable. Forget the behind the chains thing. I get that it's true, but when you start playing conservative or just trying to get some positive yardage early, it screws you up on third. It puts you in a position where you're not going to be ready to dominate. You've got to be unpredictable. You've got to be unpredictable.
Well, and Chuck hit the nail. I mean, this is a pretty simple comment, but it's probably the most accurate comment of the night. There has to be a running game. And you go back and look, as much as we want to sit here and praise as OU fans, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, and Lincoln Riley's offense, the key to Lincoln Riley's offense was the running game, period. And the same thing will be true for Ben Arbuckle. I think everybody wants Mateer to go out there and look great, throw the ball for a lot of yards. But the more important thing is they got to be able to run the ball and establish the line of scrimmage. And that starts with running the ball. And that means tight ends pushing people off the line of scrimmage. That means guards, centers, pushing people off the line of scrimmage. It's got to be a violent offensive line, as Miguel said, all that stuff. Got to be able to run the ball. You're dead on, Chuck.
Yeah, and I actually like running backs out of the backfield as well. Flare passes. It's got to be look. I would just like to see an actual screen pass, not a flare pass. Actual screen passes on downs when they're bringing people.
Hey,
those are some of the best plays.
Real quick, Chief. Disagree, man. Lincoln Riley was an air raid guy,
but he was also a run first guy. He was a run first guy.
But he came from an air raid, Germ.
Correct.
So I don't understand. Doesn't run. I don't understand.
The thing about Lincoln Riley, Jay, the thing about Lincoln Riley, and go back. I mean, you guys can go, and Jay, I can go back in my mind right now and think about this. How many times OU under Lincoln Riley on 3rd down and 8 ran the ball?
Oh, he did it quite a bit.
On 3rd and 8, they would hand the ball off on a draw or something to Kennedy Brooks multiple times, and it almost always worked. That's because they were unpredictable. The defense was always on their heels, looking around, didn't know what was happening. But that was amazing to see. And to me, that's the unpredictability I want to see. Now, of course, when it doesn't work, you're like, what are they running the ball for? But you didn't have to say that, because a lot of times it worked. He went to numbers. He would audible from the side. He would see where they had an advantage, and he would run with it.
Hey, I know we don't have – we probably can't look this up. I know Hunter's a genius in AI, but maybe you could. But what percentage was Lincoln Riley's team snap the ball from center? Am I missing something? I mean, yeah, they did play action some, but they weren't under center all the time under Lincoln Riley.
No, not. I mean, they did some, but Jay,
they did, but they weren't all the time.
Hey, Chief, I know you're saying he wasn't an air raid because they ran the ball a lot, but he came from Mike Leach. He was an air raid guy.
And Ben Arbuckle every year he does changes it up depending on what personnel he has.
And I agree, they did not get Jay not to block. He's not going to be a 3rd down block guy to protect material. He's going to be flaring out to the screen to the flat area. He ran kickoffs back. I mean, give him the space and let him go.
Now, Daniel, who played there, says we were under center very rarely. That's kind of what I thought. Now, I
agree. He was an air raid guy, but he ran the ball more.
He liked to run it more than Leach. I agree with Chief on that. Leach was more of a pass heavy. Leach wanted to go quick and do that. Lincoln Riley was way more wanting to run. That was the one thing I really loved about Lincoln Riley's offense, is he did like to run the ball compared to Leach. And I agree with you, Chief, on that. I just still consider Lincoln Riley.
If whipping was a stat, Bauer Sharp would have been the NCAA leader. And you know what? There's a lot of talk on the tight end position. Are we talking
about catches or blocks?
A lot of talk on the tight end position. The tight ends OU brought in, they brought several guys in who barely had caught the ball. That's because I think they're really wanting to have some blocking tight end options. How bad it was last year on the edge.
Sooner Theron says key to Riley's offense was he played Big 12 D line and had better talent than most teams they play, but in Big 10 he's not. Sucked the last 2 years. I would take Lincoln Riley in a heartbeat offensive mind. I think Lincoln Riley's a really good offensive mind. I think he proved it. Now, you can hate the fact that he left Oklahoma. I still do, but guy could call offense. I mean, I don't think that's a doubt. I don't care what conference he's in. Guy can call offense.
He for sure can. If we're at 60-40 either way, Fantop says they would be happy.
60-40 either way? Okay. Yeah, probably so. Would you rather that be 60 run, or just depends on what you're looking at?
Well, to me, 60-40 is always a great place to be, because it shows you're less predictable either side. When you're 50-50, it becomes, you're a little more predictable in my mind. And there's too many people that that's all they think about. Oh, look how balanced they were, 50-50. Overrated, dude. To me, that term balance is overrated. You've got to have some balance, but you don't have to be perfectly balanced.
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation, too. It depends on what defenses are doing. A lot of things it does. But you do probably kind of have that goal in mind of at least 60-40. As Sooner Cowboy says, 55-45. I mean, ideally, if you can do that, but it doesn't always happen that way. If Riley sucked at 8-5 and 7-6 last year, what does that say about BB? Yeah, I mean, I think there's some people that just are so upset that Riley left, me included, but the guy can still coach. I'm not going to sit here and say he can't. I don't know why people can't admit he's pretty good. I mean, really good offensive mind.
Yeah.
I think in my lifetime, you had the 08 offense under Kevin Wilson at OU that was unbelievable. But as far as a pure like offensive attack, Lincoln Riley's years at Oklahoma were my favorite years on offense. They were the best. What he could do, what he could create, what he could scheme up. I mean, it was really good. So
I agree, Stiller, man. Yeah. And Sooner Cowboy, you do have to think about it's first head coaching job, but there's been a whole lot of just horrific decisions. Yes, you can't argue that. And Chief, scheming is very important. I mean, go back and watch OU under Lincoln Riley early in the game. Just unbelievable. I mean, they had everything schemed perfectly.
I think they might surprise some people this year. USC. I'm not going to sit here on July 11th and say they're making the playoff, but I think they're going to be better this year, and I just do. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah, again, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Do it before football season starts. In fact, do it before July 20th so you can guarantee the August Shirt of the Month Club there, the football helmet logo. Great stuff each and every month sent to your house. Never have to worry about if it'll be a different design because it will, and it's always great. Thefanstop.com. Make sure you use code SURGE too. Get 10% off. Would you agree Riley had the easiest road? I will agree that
up until 2 years ago.
I was going to say I would agree that when he took over at OU, it was pretty the talent level that they had on campus there was pretty elite.
It was. Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He didn't leave it in a bad place, Bob Stoops.
No, I think he had it handed to him with talent level really good. Now, let's be honest though. The defense was not in a good spot when he took over, and he never really got it. Now, he brought Grinch in. Grinch had the 1 year that they really kind of flipped it around, but then after that, it was kind of going the other direction. So that's the one thing he couldn't ever get going was a great defense. Now, Grinch, like I said, had a good 1 year for sure.
Mez says, and I see Chet's comment, this has nothing, in my opinion, to do with saying that Bill Beaton was overrated here. 2024 rushing, OU, 521 attempts, 2,017 yards, 3.9 average. Washington State, 470 attempts. So that's about 51. It's 51 attempts less than OU, more yards, and a higher average. And you know what that means to me? Way better play caller because it's unpredictable. Listen, OU ran the ball about every play in some games last year. They threw the ball like 12 times one game, didn't they? Like that's because they couldn't do anything. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to take anything from last year.
Yeah, and I agree with 918 here. He was recruiting those offensive guys. Fanstop says Riley made some mistakes in his coaching staff, especially at strength and conditioning. I think a lot of people would agree with you there, Fanstop. That was might have been the biggest mistake he made. I don't know.
It wasn't the WAC. It's Mountain West, isn't it? Wait, did Washington State Mountain West or WAC?
Sorry, I'm trying to read some of these comments. I was trying to get to this one. Do you think we have a legit wide receiver? And the answer somebody put in here was Giovanni if he's healthy.
I would say Deion Burks is wide receiver one.
Let me ask you this, because I know you're a huge Jaden Gibson guy. Did the setback? You really like Jaden Gibson, right?
I said Jaden Gibson, I think last year had a chance to be really good, but I don't know what he's going to be now.
So what is the deal this year? Is it just because he had the setback of the injury, or do people just not know what he could be? Like, there's like no talk about Jaden Gibson. And he's ahead of schedule compared to Giovanni.
Because of that.
Let me ask you guys this in the chat.
I love his size.
Is Jaden Gibson do you see him as a guy that can do it all as a wide receiver, or do you see him as a deep threat?
He goes up and gets the ball. He's not a guy that's going to go across the middle. That's your Giovanni Gibson. That's Deion Burks. Hey, I've got to address 918. Regarded as one of the best in the country, I don't think he is now based on the last two schools. I mean, USC got rid of him.
USC got rid of him.
USC got rid of him, and OU didn't do anything when they was at OU. So if he was one of the best in the country, he can't be regarded as that anymore.
I think he does some things that are really good. I really do. I wouldn't put him up there as the best in the country. He does some things. I think.
Who's the receiver you want going over the middle this year?
Well, I mean, I think Burks can go over the middle quite a bit, Germ. Don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
That's who I think it is.
I mean, and hey, and I understand this.
Jay, I think sports performance, like cutting, agilities, stuff like that, he's probably better at than his strength program.
Well, I think you could look at. I think a lot of people will say that the yoga, that they feel like Benny Wiley, it made OU soft. But honestly, I think that came from up above. I think that Lincoln Riley was part of that too. I think Lincoln Riley, it wasn't just, you can't just throw that all on Benny Wiley. They were soft in certain spots, but you'd have to put some of that. You always say this, your mindset comes from the mindset of the coach, right?
Yes.
So you can't put all that on Benny Wiley.
Chester says 9-3 playoffs. You heard it here first, and I'm a hated doomer. And someone made the point.
Chester's at 9-3 now.
Hey,
well, you can't just compare that either.
9-1-8. That is a horrible question. Hate to say it.
First time around or now?
Because are we talking about Smitty now or Smitty when he was here earlier?
And it doesn't matter. You got to look at the coaches too. Lincoln Riley was really good coach.
That's a ridiculous comparison.
Yeah, I see what you're doing now.
Wiley or Smitty? That's a horrible question.
I mean, I would say Smitty does have. I mean, how many championships?
He's won 3 national championships.
So I mean, you got to put that in there if you're going to compare the two. But
I guess it's over at that point.
Hey, they both have their own way of doing things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the strength and conditioning guy isn't the only guy that makes a team good or bad. And I think I think Wiley got a lot of blame, even though it wasn't all him. I do. I think a lot of people jumped down his throat when there was other issues there at Oklahoma, not just under with Benny Wiley.
And like Chester said, everyone wanted the mindset, the narrative to be changed, and that's why they brought Smitty in. To flip the narrative and be more of a physical team, because they just got dominated, even in big-time games when it mattered. That's what always the narrative was. And I'm not saying I always agree with it, but that's what the narrative always was. OU too finesse. And I'm not saying I've agreed with that.
But you got to manage your rotations a little better. Specifically, this isn't really rotation, but the O-line's got to get it figured out, like game 1 or 2. It needs to be done. Like, you got to have your 5. You can't be playing around with it game 3 or 4. Can't do it. You got to get that thing set, man. If you don't, let me say this. If you don't know who your starting 5 offensive line is by game 1, what are you doing? Like, I'm serious. Like, don't you think that's a position? It's not like you're waiting to see it. How's this guy going to perform? Don't you think with who they have there, who your 5 should be off practices and stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, and Jay, the other rotation that's always been questioned, and rightfully so, is DeMarco Murray's rotation. And does the guy like Taylor Tatum even get in the rotation?
He's going to play. Yeah.
Over who?
They're going to play 3. Jerm, they're going to play 3 running backs. Are you kidding me?
So Javonte's not going to play.
Well, one of the two is not going to play very much.
That's what I'm asking. Because X Rob and Jay Nah are for sure. The question is, who's the third guy going to be?
You want to hear a hot take for this July 11th? You ready for this? In my opinion, based off previous few seasons, I don't think Xavier Robinson's a penciled-in number 2 guy. It might be Javonte Barnes for all I know.
Oh, my.
I'm serious. It might be Taylor Tatum.
Take I've ever heard in my life.
It's not. How can you say that based off the last few years, Jerm? What tells you that it might not be that way?
Jay, what does that even mean? Did you watch him last year?
He didn't play very much. He didn't play very much, Jeremy. They hardly played him.
Games, he averaged about 100 every game.
How many carries did he get against Navy, Jeremy? They didn't even play him hardly. What happened?
I don't know what happened, Jay.
Jerm, all I'm saying is based on last year, how can you say you know what the running back rotation is? There's no way you can figure that out, Jerm. None. Zero.
I'll tell you why. Because a guy who's confident and a little bit arrogant named Ben Arbuckle has walked into that room and said, that's my number 2. Here's my top 2 guys. I guarantee you he went to DeMarco Murray and said, this is who I want.
Hey, it would not shock me. And you ready for this? Maybe even worse take. You ready for this? I'll put a wager on it right now. You ready?
Yeah, wager it.
Wager. Game 1, first snap at running back, Javonte Barnes in the backfield.
No chance.
Okay. What do you want to wager?
What are you going to lose?
What do you want to wager?
I don't know. I'll think of it. That's a horrible take. Hey, okay. 9-1-8. But you can't compare because that was not in the SEC. It's hard to compare. The softest Charmin.
Hey, you can't deny OU was really good under Lincoln Riley. I'm not denying that.
No one said they weren't any good. What are you talking about, Jay?
Oh, I didn't know what you were arguing there. And Daniel's right. It should be XR, but with DeMarco, I see what, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I think it should be Javonte Barnes. I'm saying
Ben Arbuckle's not going to let it be unless the other guy's been beat out.
Well, I mean, according to Brent Venables, the OC doesn't pick who goes out to the position groups. That's based on.
When was that interview, Jay? When was that? When did he say that?
That was last year.
New sheriff in town, buddy.
Okay, maybe so. Still got the same head sheriff though.
Yeah, who's coaching defense.
Word has Ott 1, Barnes 2, Xavier 3.
Please. Hey, what a disservice that would be. What a disservice. Whose word, Mez? Go ahead, put it in here. I want to know who said that. Put it in here right now. I want to know who said it.
You always want to know. It's like
I sure do, because I don't know who would say that.
What show was that said inquiring minds want to know? Is that a show or a magazine?
I think it was the National Enquirer. Exactly, 918. The word is wrong. It was X-Rob's number 2. I want to know who said that, Mess. Drop it in the chat. Firing me up again.
But what are you basing this on? Yeah, I don't understand this. It's like Germ's baffled tonight. It's like, whoa, what? Oh, my gosh. They might. It's unbelievable.
Who, Maz? Give me names. Give me names, Maz. And Jay, no Stiller, man. Everyone needs to very clearly listen here. I think they've tried this in the past, Jay. They tried rotating 4 or 5 guys. They've let DeMarco have a say. Ben Arbuckle, have you listened to the man talk? He's not going to just say, okay, you guys tell me who to play. He's going to play who he wants to play.
Who would your choice be?
I agree with Chad 100%. Javonte Barnes number 4. Seen enough of him.
That would be your 3. Rob Tatum.
Yes.
Man, Tatum's got to clean up the fumbles, though. They were bad last year. Well, yeah. I was watching the Alabama game the other night. Just coughed it up in that game and late in the year, man. So there hasn't been a whole lot of talk on Tatum. But it's July, so he does have some proving to do. I get it. Barnes is good at blocking. He's probably the best blocking back coming back because we all know Tatum needed to work on that.
Yeah.
So Friday night, man. Again, Friday night. We're 50 days away. 50 days away from
football. We get into the 40s tomorrow night.
Can you believe it? I'm super happy it's mid-July because and hey, this is a big week really because we're going to get to hear some football stuff. You got SEC media days this week. Get to hear a lot from coaches, players. That'll be.
I agree. A lot to talk about with SEC media days, and I think this question right here is something we can open with tomorrow. Think about some guys who have turned a corner, and think about some guys who just were the same as soon as they got on campus, from the time they got on campus till the end. And right now, Javonte Barnes is kind of that guy. We've seen it time in, time out, each year kind of who he is. But that'll be a good topic for tomorrow night. Guys, thanks so much for joining us on this Friday night. We appreciate all of you guys. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night on Saturday night. You guys have a super Saturday. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up for that Shirt of the Month Club. You won't be disappointed. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.